Hi there everyone and welcome to Starlight Wellness. My name is Ange and I'm here to do your full moon in Libra astrological and energy update report. Thank you for tuning in with me in the Mandala room. It's very red, it's very Aries energy, fire, passion. We're in Aries season, we're in the spring equinox, we're starting a new cycle of the year. And so I think it's beautiful that I ended up in this part of the room that I'm staying in while I'm traveling. So I'm so thankful to be on my travels currently to help me heal and detoxify and get my health up to par. But I was super guided to keep up with these videos for everybody because I'm getting awesome information and downloads. So if you don't know who I am, if it's your first time tuning in, my name is Ange. I'm the owner of Starlight Wellness, which is an astrological and energy coaching page. And what I do is that I use astrology as a tool to help people on their ascension path, to help people adjust to any energetic shifts on the planet through the tool of astrology. And so I'm a gifted empath and intuitive for that reason. I'm also a certified astrologer, a certified professional life coach, and I'm a certified healer in a variety of energy healing modalities. So I do feel, I have a lot to give, and I do this as a heart service, completely heart service, because I'm able to be giving at this time, and I feel guided to do so. So I'm just going to turn down the music I have going here, just in case it's interruptive to the discussion, and get right into this full moon. What is going on with this full moon in Libra? But let me tell you this in 3 sections. So I wanted to start the report in 3 sections so that it's very clear and everyone can kind of get the best out of this summary. The first section, I'm going to focus on the planetary transits. So the astrological kind of component of things, and really overview the last month and even few months, like what's the story and that the astrology and the planets have been telling us. The second part is going to be numerological. Numerology and astrology go hand in hand, and there is a lot of number sequences that have come in, and it's really important for us to tune into that as well, and specifically for this full moon. The final part is going to be the intuitive astrological approach. I'm also going to bring some healing messages about some of the chakras that require healing at this time. And it's the intuitive summary of the Ascension astrology that is my niche. This is my niche. So thank you for tuning in for everyone. I hope this message is of service to you and provides you some guidance or some healing. So as we know, we're in a full moon. Full moons represents culmination. It's the ending to a cycle. It's a circle, right? So it also represents the unity consciousness, the unity, the finality. And full moons always usually shed a light on something that was hidden, something in our subconscious or something in the collective consciousness. What's surprising is that this is a blue moon. So we've had 3 moon cycles this month of March, making it a blue moon. It's not anything super important, but what is important is that the full moon is in Libra at 10 degrees. Now I'll get into the 10-degree numerology importance later, but keep that in mind. So what are the themes of the planets right now? So the full moon is in Libra. Libra is ruled by Venus, and Venus is exalted when it's in Libra. And so it's kind of got this really big Venusian emphasis. And the themes of Venus is love and finances. More importantly, on the same day of the full moon, which is March 31st, depending on where you are in the planet, is that Venus, the planet that rules Libra and also rules Taurus, moves out of Aries and into Taurus. So that Aries fiery intensity that we've been having is going to kind of tone down, and it's going to have a more Venusian approach to things, which is super important and awesome right now, because all that intensity that we've been feeling this whole month of March, because of the equinox, which is the change of the seasons, because of the solar flares that we had, and because we had so many planets move into Aries, and we had Mercury move retrograde into Aries as well. And it's just kind of has this like push and pull energy where Aries is the I am, I want, and wants to take action and do stuff. And then Mercury going retrograde is kind of like you're going forward, but then you're taking 3 step backs. So that's what's kind of been going on astrologically this month. And it's created a lot of intensity because Aries is intense, it's fiery. And that intensity is going to tone down with this full moon, and it's culminating that. So that's really beautiful for us at this time. Now let's talk about the Aries energy a little bit more, just because this Mercury retrograde in Aries is going to last until the new moon on April 15th, when it's going to be a new moon in Aries, and Mercury's going to finally go direct. And so we're going to have this Mercury retrograde energy still kind of in the background of things. But what's important is that this full moon is showing us a healing way to adapt to this Aries intensity of I am, I want to take action. Because the Aries Libra dichotomy is the Aries self, and Libra is the others. So we have self and others kind of being brought into balance here. And Libra is the planet, or the sign, I mean, that rules balance. So what we're learning here is to balance ourselves, which is the Aries, with others. And Libra is also teaching us with this full moon to balance our relationships with ourselves, with others, like our relationships with other people. They may be romantic, friendships, relationships, co-workers, that kind of thing, family members, and also our relationship with our Creator. So the relationship that we have with our higher self, with our whatever your denominational belief may be, with your Creator, God, Goddess, Source energy. So it's really important for us to go inwards at this time to create that harmony and that alchemy, so that we have that balance of the self and our origin of creation, or ourselves with other people. Because as we know, in unity consciousness, which is what we just learned with the new moon in Pisces, was unity consciousness. We know that the importance of our relationship with other people is that we are all one. We are all a collective. There is a unity consciousness happening. And that's what the new moon in Pisces energy started. So just to overview these astrological planetary transits, the Pisces new moon was teaching us culmination, because Pisces is the last sign of the zodiac, culminating all the signs of the zodiac, and basically getting rid of the ego, getting rid of our separation from other people, and returning to our source creation and knowing that we are all connected. That's what Pisces teaches us at the highest octave. And now with this full moon, we have overcome the last few weeks, maybe some challenges, and this full moon in Libra is culminating. Okay, before we start this new beginning, the spring equinox, before we start the spring fresh, is culminating this balance, that it's really important to balance that relationship with other people and our source of creation. Knowing that we are all connected and bringing back that unity consciousness and getting rid of the ego consciousness and the separation, which is an illusion in itself. We are not actually separated from one another. It's just an illusion of the density that we have living here on the planet. So that is super important already, just about the full moon. And so we also have Jupiter still retrograde in Scorpio. That's diving deep into our subconscious, still digging deep and bringing up these themes up to light. And there's going to be a Mars and Saturn T-square specifically at the full moon in Capricorn. This T-square, I don't normally go into the T-squares or the conjunctions too much because I like to give big picture approaches. But the T-square this time is quite important because it's focusing about the financial part. And as I said, Venus rules love, which is love for your brothers and sisters, the ultimate unconditional love of unity consciousness, and bringing that into balance with the Libra energy. And that's the Venus energy, and it's moving into Taurus, which is about grounding. It's an earth sign. It's about grounding and creating financial abundance and stability for you. And Venus also rules finances and abundance. And so the Mars T-square, what it's doing and why it's doing that, and especially with this Venus moving into Taurus, is simply telling us that love and money kind of go hand in hand, and that it's important to focus on our finances, but we need to do it through the unconditional love for each other and our brothers and sisters, and knowing that we are all like one, and that there is a unity consciousness and that there is no separation between us. And when we do that, when we create that inner alchemy and balance, we then can create that and manifest that awesome, beautiful abundance, what the T-square is pushing us to do. That's kind of like the lesson, because it's in Capricorn. Capricorn is about creating structure, responsibility, and your work life. And that's kind of why that T-square is happening. A lot of astrologers might be explaining that in a more fearful way, but it's not fearful. I'm trying to say it's a beautiful aspect for us to bring in that inner alchemy to create abundance in our outer reality. So let's get into a little bit about myths. I love bringing in some mythology into my astrological reports. So again, like I said, we have Aries. The sun is in Aries, and it's in opposition to the moon in Libra at the full moon. And it's both at 10 degrees. So the sun in Aries is at 10 degrees, and the full moon in Libra is at 10 degrees. Isn't that spectacular? There's something numerologically important there. 10 and 10, that doesn't always happen. So why is that so important? Like I was saying, it's about the self and the other. That contrast is coming into play. That balance of ourselves and others is coming into play. And it's about finding our center point within, because Libra rules the mental body. It's an air sign and it's not emotional. So it's trying to find that higher perspective and to bring in that warrior self within. It's like the myth of Athena, which is a warrior goddess who is strategic and diplomatic. Libras are strategic and diplomatic. They love to bring in harmony with other people and relationships, but through diplomacy and through very strategic ways because it rules the mental mind. And so the lesson is to create, to correct imbalances and create harmony with others through this kind of strategic Athena-like approach. And so this very divine feminine energy is coming in. This Venusian energy of Libra and Taurus energy is coming in to remind us the importance of feminine warrior-like ways to create harmony and balance in our lives. So this can happen for us individually and also collectively. So this is an important lesson for everyone at this time. Now, Athena, the warrior goddess, and Libra is also reminding us to take step-by-step actions. So like I was saying, the Mercury retrograde was kind of like push and pull, maybe creating some triggers for people in their lives. What this energy with the balance of Libra is telling us is to be strategic and take step-by-step actions, step-by-step approaches on your priorities. Make a priority list, step by step, and then you will materialize what you need and make plans. So until we reach the new moon this April, it's really a time for us to gestate and to make the plans of action that we want to take when April 15th comes and the planets start to move forward again and the new moon starts a new cycle. So it's really about going inwards, like I said, embracing any imbalances that you have with others or with your God self or with God creator, and to take step-by-step plans that you want to create for yourself and release everything else that no longer serves you, that do not align with your values or your beliefs. Because Venus also rules how we feel valued, right? Love and money. So it's about your values and beliefs. And so we need to release all that no longer serves us and take very strategic and diplomatic step-by-step approaches to create what we want, to create a plan. You know, the warrior goddess Athena is creating a plan. So that's what we're all being guided to do right now, to create a plan. When Mercury goes forward on April 15th, or around then, and the new moon will be in Aries, it will be a time to take action on those plans, and it will be much more potent for you to do so at that time. So overall, let's get into part 2, the numerology. The numerology, how am I doing on time? Great timing. I'm still at 20 minutes, so great timing. So part 2, numerology. What's so important about the 10 degrees? So the full moon in Libra is at 10 degrees. And like I said, the sun is in opposition at the full moon and it's in Aries at 10 degrees. What does 10 represent? 10 represents basically the alpha and omega. It's the 1, the new beginning, and the 0, the culmination. And everyone's talking about the 1. Yeah, we're starting a new beginning. This is a new beginning. We're releasing things. No, we're actually still in a culminating energy. Full moons have to do with release. So we're culminating something. And we're culminating this Pisces new moon energy, that healing Pisces energy that was teaching us unity consciousness. And we're culminating that right now with the Libra energy to get rid of that ego self and start to embrace balance with other people and our relationships in our environment and with our creator, knowing there is no separation. So that 10 degrees is really important because it's culminating. We are entering a new beginning, but it's a culmination energy. And overall, if we look at the bigger picture of the numerology sequences that have been going on since November in the moon cycles that I've been presenting in the last few months, if you've tuned into my station, every full and new moon cycle was either at 11 degrees or at 26 degrees. And 11 is like a portal energy. So it also has to do with partnerships and relationships because it equals the number 2. And 2 has to do with partnerships and relationships. And that's kind of the lesson of Libra. And so all the last few new moons and full moons since November has been 11 and 26. 26 equals 8, bringing heaven to earth, bringing that infinity balance, masculine and feminine balance into harmony, healing that, releasing relationships that don't align to that divine relationship, to your divine self, your higher self, and going through that portal, right? Going through that 1-1 portal. And then when we started 2018, when we started this year and we had the eclipses happened, we were eclipsing in a year 2018, which equals 11, which equals 2. And so we're in a year 2. 2018 equals 2. And so 2 has to do with partnerships and getting rid of the ego and getting rid of this illusion that we are separate from other people and bringing back that unity consciousness. And now Libra's kind of trying to bring that back out. So now that we bring unity and harmony in our relationships and in our environments and in our love lives as well. So it really is, you can see like the storyline, how this year is really starting off as a really potent time to bring in that balance of self and others, partnerships, and that unity within ourselves. And ultimately, that's the divine masculine and the divine feminine energy, the yin and yang balance within each and every one of us, regardless of our gender. So you can see now, like really overall, that it's about our coexistence. So I'm going to get into part 3 now, the intuitive kind of summary of what I've just explained. Overall, we are really looking at embracing unity consciousness at like a really deeper level with this full moon before we start fresh. And it's culminating. It's a culminating energy so that we finally clear our ego. And I mean, it's hard to get rid of our ego, and there's a lot of misconceptions about what the ego even is. But definitely anything that has to do with an idea that is based on some sort of social conditioning that you are separate from the creator or from source energy, that you are separate from others and other beings, animals, Mother Nature, that you are separate from that, or that there is separation between your masculine and feminine in within yourselves, is all an illusion. And that was like being dissolved. That was being healed. And when we had the new moon in the new moon in Pisces this month, it had a Chiron conjunction, which was all about healing, and Chiron was also in Pisces. So it was bringing in that unity consciousness like super hard. Like it was really pushing us to look at dissolving this illusion of separation and bringing back unity consciousness to ourselves and to the planet. And that ultimately is the Christ consciousness. And we're entering into, you know, the celebration of Easter. For some, Passover. For me, Ostara and the spring equinox. But, you know, regardless of your beliefs, we're really entering into a time where the Christ consciousness energy is actually within us. If Jesus were to be here on the planet and to teach us anything, especially with the cycles that we've just overcome and that Chiron healing that happened at the new moon, the message is that hero is you. That within yourself, when you find that inner alchemy and that balance, you can manifest with more grace and with more ease, and be in alignment with your highest self and highest good. And that is the Christ consciousness, walking the planet as Christ would, without an ego, without thinking you are separate from other beings, without hurting someone else and thinking it doesn't affect you or anyone else. Everything has a domino effect. You know, it like one person hurts another and then it hurts 30 other people. So we are all connected, and that's the message of Christ. I mean, when he was here walking the planet, that would be his message, is that you are not separate, and you are not separate from your holy source either. And so I did a video yesterday and I was cut off some technical difficulties, and I pulled two cards from the Loving Words of Jesus. You know, I just thought to use this deck because I felt like it was really beautiful for, you know, this time with this Chiron energy and with the healing of the unity consciousness, dissolving the ego. And we're into Easter right now. So, you know, like, what a beautiful message. And the messages that I picked was, according to your faith, be it unto you, and have faith in God. And it says here, Mark 11:22, which is such a beautiful numerology anyway. So, you know, according to your faith, be it unto you. It says here, like in Yeshua's words himself, he said, you know, regardless what faith you have, be it unto you. You are still divine as long as the Christ consciousness, as long as you walk without your ego, as long as you walk without the illusion that we are separate. And, you know, allowing everyone to have their own faith, and all is well, that we can coexist and still have, you know, this divine love and compassion for each other, which is what Jesus would teach us anyway. And I think that's why I received these cards. And it says, have faith in God, because ultimately having faith allows us and opens us the door to knowing that there is something beyond our understanding, that there's always something that we can learn, and we can learn from other people. We can learn from different religions. We can learn from everything. Like, in the way I think of things is the tree of life, and that, you know, there's every religion is on the tree of life, but it all comes from the same divine source. So every tree, every branch, every fruit could be biology, religion, Buddhism, you know, atheism, science, you know, Judaism, anything. But it all comes from the same source. And when we understand that we all come truly from that same source, we get rid of the illusion of separation. And we walk the way of Christ in unity consciousness. And that's the beauty of the message that I have to share today. And finally, people have been talking about, I forgot to mention, that there's the full moon is at being conjunct to Chiron in Pisces, still at 29 degrees, and that there's like still healing happening there. What's happening is actually that the healing is culminating. The conjunction at the new moon in Pisces, when Chiron was in Pisces, that was the real time for us to kind of heal those Chiron wounds and to do the work until the full moon. And now we're culminating that. So anyone that was doing that deeper inner work or had triggers or events in their lives that created some disharmony in their lives, and then they took the approach of surrendering and having faith, you then walk through the portal, which is the 29 degrees. It equals 11. It's a portal. It's a healing portal, but it's a culminating portal. So it's culminating the healing, and we're at a full moon, and it's all about culmination. So it's definitely a very culminating moon. We're ending like a full cycle to create a new beginning, like a new life, a new earth, a new reality where we are we rid ourselves of this ego and we coexist on the planet and know that everyone is affected by anything and everything that's happening to each other. That is the message. And, you know, that is even the message that, you know, Jesus would have, I would say, to everyone. Is there anything else I want to say? I'm just going to Palo Santo myself in case. Oh, right, the chakras. I totally forgot. Yes, it's really important to talk about the chakras. So I'm just going to sage and Palo Santo myself a little bit about our conversation. Bring in more love, light. Palo Santo smells so lovely. Like, it's just fantastic. And comes from South America, and it's used in a lot of rituals. It's very cleansing, and it's very healing. So the chakra messages, yes, very important. So the divine feminine right now and the divine masculine are healing two major chakras, especially at this full moon. The divine masculine is healing the solar plexus. So as I was talking about the warrior goddess Athena, so the divine masculine within all of us and within men more so is healing their solar plexus. It's healing those power struggles that I am, that Aries, I want to take action, healing that self versus others. And it's healing it in a really deep way, and it's releasing us from having those boundaries that are created from self-imposed illusions of separation. So all those programs or social conditionings that have created power struggles are created in the divine masculine, deep within the divine masculine solar plexus, as like these power struggles of the self versus the other. I hope that makes sense. So the divine masculine is purging that right now. It's healing that. It's dissolving those boundaries, and it's embracing more of that oneness and that strategic diplomatic approach. So that's a really deep healing for the divine masculine. The deep healing for the divine feminine that I received was the cosmic heart. So it's not like our heart chakra and our throat chakra, but it's in between. It's our cosmic heart, and it actually works on the throat and the heart. And it's really getting opened up right now, and it's releasing us from a lot of past wounding where the feminine wasn't able to express themselves, or the sounds of people being hurt, or speaking or hearing people suffer is being healed right now, because it's the throat, which rules sound and expression, and the heart, because the heart chakra was blocked because we were having memories of hearing other people being suffering, like crying or in agony, and that blocked the heart and the throat, and that needs to heal so that our cosmic heart opens up. So just, go back and meditate on those chakras, maybe how that relates to you in your life, and try to clear that energy out and really bring in a lot of self-compassion and self-awareness right now. And that will bring a lot of balance for your masculine and feminine to come into that divine harmony at this full moon at this time. So I'm just going to Palo Santo that as well, just to clear those chakras, and that, these deep, deep ancestral wounds that we all have as beings of living in a human body, living in our human experience. These are some of the areas that are getting affected for us individually and collectively. And so I was guided to share that and to send it out as a healing message for everyone at this time. So I really wish that message served anyone and brought you a lot of awareness and healing on your path, and also a lot of motivation for us to get started soon. Let's gestate, let's heal those things, let's make plans, step-by-step plans. What do we want to do? What do we want to manifest? And then take forward and move forward with those ideas come April 15th. It'll be a beautiful time. So I can't wait to make a video when the new moon comes in Aries. And I think it's just awesome that I was guided and to relocate my video message today to this more red Aries kind of energy room, and bring the message through in a different room, which was beautiful. Because it really brings in that passionate energy. It really brings in that charismatic energy that the Aries can be at the highest octave. Aries can be very charismatic. They could be great leaders, and they can really bring in a lot of good, passionate energy for people. So it's really positive as well at the highest octave. We don't have to always think everything's going to be aggressive and people protesting. The Aries energy at the higher octave can also learn to be the diplomat and to be strategic and to take step-by-step plans and strategic approaches, because that's the message that we all need to learn, and I think that we can all benefit from, even myself. So the last thing I wanted to share for everyone was just beautiful. Something that came up for me was that I received the counselor card here with Archangel Azrael, and it says here, you are a natural counselor and many people benefit from your guidance and reassurance. And I got that card 2 days ago before making any of these videos, and so I just feel super guided right now to use my coaching practice, because truly I am gifted to help counsel people on their path, and this is like a divine heart service that is truly part of my passion and part of my life purpose, and so nothing can stop that from happening and to manifest that into reality. And so I just wish everyone lots of love and blessings, and that I hope I was of service to you somehow, and that we can all move forward and culminate and release at this full moon and enjoy our Easter celebrations, whoever is celebrating this this weekend. I do wish everyone like joy with their family, because Libra is all about relationships. So I'm sure a lot of people are going to be very social right now and being very diplomatic and harmonizing in their relationships and enjoying their celebrations. So thank you for tuning into Starlight Wellness. Feel free to share and like this message, and to like my page on Facebook. It's called Starlight Wellness. I also am an admin and manage the group called Ascension Astrology, where it's more interactive and there's a lot more group discussions going on there, and you can participate in that as well. Feel free to join Ascension Astrology as well. It's a great group to participate in if you want to learn more about Ascension Astrology. So thank you for tuning in, and like always, take care and much love.